And I want to talk about your schooling a little bit.
Okay.
I have some. You went to Long Beach College or university or something.
Yeah, Long Beach State. Yeah.
How do you like that?
University. It was great. Long Beach is a great school, especially the program I was in, the painting and drawing program. Super good program. A lot of good faculty, and they're kind of like all retiring right now, which is crazy. Like one of them retired this semester, and then a couple more are kind of getting ready to. So it's gonna change, but it's been a good program for a really long time, and hopefully the guy who's still there, who's the head of the painting department, hopefully he'll get the chance to hire some really good new people. But it was great, and Long Beach as a city is a really cool place to be as well, because you're there, you're down, and you're right near LA, and you're right next to the beach, but it's a different vibe than LA. It's like its own thing. So I loved it. I was there like 3 years, and it was great. I really enjoyed it. I didn't know, because coming from here, I didn't know if I'd like a bigger city, but I totally dug it. And I think part of it is because, and I've been trying to go down to LA like once a month now, just to go to like art openings and go see friends and stuff. Because what's down there for me that is like peers who are like painting and stuff, like people my age who are doing the same thing I'm doing. There's not as much of that up here. And so it's really good to stay. Whatever you're doing, like I would recommend, I mean, you already do this, but like whatever you enjoy doing, like you should find people your age who do the same thing and hang with them, because it'll just make you want to do it more, and it'll just make you more invested in whatever your favorite thing is.
For me, it makes sense. So say you're going to school or like a university, a college or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and your major is going to be like math related. Like it makes sense. Like you go in, you take a test, you run the Scantron through the computer, where somebody just hand grades it or whatever. And it's like, okay, like we're going to give them a grade because the answers were like A, B, D, C, B, A, D, B, B. And that just comes up like, okay, you did...
Right or wrong.
Yeah, and you got 20 out of 20. Like you bubbled in the correct answers. Like this is your grade, you got your math degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's how that shit works
right.
For the most part,
Yeah.
Thing is, what I've never understood with art, you're not bubbling in A, B, or C, or D, so how the fuck do you get a passing grade or a failing grade if art is like, for the most part, opinion?
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. That's a good question. It does depend a little bit on the class. Like there are some classes that are a little more, what would you say? Like they have more specific requirements.
Okay.
And then there's some that are very like open, like how would you grade it, I think what it really comes down to is like teachers mostly grade on I mean they grade partially on like how well you do, but a lot of it I think is based on effort as well. Like they just know like if you're putting, and the time as well. Like the thing about an art piece or a project is like a person who's experienced you can tell by looking at something how much time somebody put into it,
Yeah.
And so I think that comes into play a lot. And then skill comes into play. I mean, if you're really talented, you can kind of skate by sometimes and, spend less time on something and then, following directions and that type of shit in like the more entry level courses. And then, but yeah, it's one of those things where, well, I think in these kind of degrees where it's not like right, wrong, you can get a degree. Like, lots of people can get a degree in art. It's not like you have to. It would be hard to flunk out of an art program.
Really?
Like, I mean, unless you just didn't do the work.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you get out and you have the degree, it doesn't mean shit, really. Like, if you fucked around and you didn't learn anything and you didn't work hard and you didn't gain skills and you didn't get a good portfolio, you're just fucked. Like, it's not like you can get this, like, two people can get the same degree and that doesn't mean they're equally qualified to. Another thing is, like, in the arts, you don't go and show your degree and apply for a job.
Yeah.
Like, there's no path. There's no, like, one way. That's what's crazy is, like, there's a lot of different things you can do. And so it's interesting to talk to alumni from art programs because everybody's doing something different. Whereas, like, you know, if it was like an engineering program or something, there would be a lot of people who had jobs at major places that did engineering stuff, and they would, you know, they probably applied to the job and got the job, and then they worked that job. But when the arts, you kind of have to, like, carve out your own path because there's no place where you go and apply, and then the only one thing like that is teaching. Is like, that's the only like secure job in the arts.
Teaching. Being an art teacher.
Yeah.
Okay.
And but even that now is like, there's less and less positions, and it's harder and harder to get like a good, you know, like a higher level art teaching job. So you really have to be creative and make up and work really fucking hard. Like, if you don't work hard, you can get a degree, but you're never gonna make it in the art world if you don't work hard, because you just have to work your ass off. You just, like, have to practice, and you have to make a lot of work, and you have to get out there, and it's not easy. Like, older people who have made it and who are still in the game and still do it, I mean, they've worked so much, they could have done anything. They could have been a fucking brain surgeon, you know, like the amount they've spent, they have hours doing what they do. It's just that's what they're fascinated with, you know, and that's what their passion is. So the degree in the art world, I mean, it's really about, like, what you do and how hard you work, and not really about the degree. But it's you know, Long Beach was a great school, and I have no regrets. I mean, I learned a ton, and I met a lot of great people and a lot of great artists, and made good relationships with the faculty.